We ought to do a little test. We should have thought of this before this panel. We should have had you and Network Insights, and you guys track on both your BuzzLog trackers the online discussion that would have happened if we had brought 5 Ford Fusions down here, or 50 of them, let you guys all drive them at this interactive conference with 50,000 people that are here. They get 41 miles per gallon. I got a feeling that everybody that I see in the lobby with the Macs and Twitter and everything in this conference would be twittering all over about this 41 mile per gallon thing. And then you could see how much buzz was generated by the $50 million ad budget they're running right now with 41 miles per gallon spent on American Idol. And see which one's generating more buzz. That would be an interesting kind of a pilot to sort of put some teeth into, you know, what's going on here with this world of the social versus the world of the TV with real data. Would have been a cool thing. Yeah, maybe we should switch it.
We'll have to take that up for next year's panel. So, Michael, any specific examples you can cite about where you use data to turn that into actual marketing? And particularly what I think I'm looking for is where did someone sort of reduce spend on an offline campaign in television, print, or radio and turn that into a more specific targeted spend in an online area?
I think I have a good example. This is when we used our neuroscience research, and we found that there was a particular sports television show that shows an automotive sponsor as their primary sponsor, and this automotive sponsor was coming back and would say, you know, we want to put our logo everywhere. You know, our other sports news show on the other network has it everywhere. You know, it's like there's 4 logos behind each newscaster. There's logos on the desk. There's logos that pop up here, there, pre-roll. You know, before they go to this, before they go live. And we ended up doing a test to find out that the sports show that showed less was actually more effective, which in a way it helped them to realize that what they were paying for that particular thing was okay, and that they didn't have to keep spending more to put more and more, you know, ads and banners and logos up everywhere.
Okay, and I sneak preview the next section, but we've been talking about this a little bit. So if we think that we're pissing most of it away right now, where do you propose that we aim better, Dan? And do you see enough inventory of interesting online spends to actually move large budgets from offline to online and actually make it effective?
I certainly do. If I can, you know, if I have the ability to say, you can buy the front page of Yahoo, or you can buy 1,600 nodes in the Network Insights network, and I can give you the same level of audience and at a similar inventory, but instead of your conversion rates being 1%, I'm going to promise you 14% conversion rates, and that's a pretty cool thing. And so if I can do that, and there is enough,
that 40% conversion rate with enough people to matter when people are saying
from the 1,600 nodes, I'm getting a similar size audience to that at the front page of Yahoo. So now all of a sudden I'm actually converting
1,600 nodes equates to the front page of Yahoo?
Depends what the nodes are, right?
Okay.
Within the network, right? So if I can depend on the nodes within the
So when you're talking about nodes, I assume you're talking about sort of super
sites that
sites. Okay, right. I wasn't sure you were talking about sites or people there.
Yeah. So if I've got 1,600 sites that are out there, and I've figured out the places where those conversations are taking place, I can tell you what to go and have a conversation about. I can tell you arguably what your ad should look like. I can tell you when to place it, where to place it, and I can inform it.
So what you're saying is basically the aggregate, influence of 1,600 sites where you're able to have measurable impact and sentiment is better than that just mass brand spend on top of the other page.
Absolutely.
Okay. And any customers who've had that success where you can sort of show that measurable impact?
So specifically, if I think a technology client, that's a software-based technology client where they adjusted the copy that was in their ads. And so we specifically targeted where in the technology blogosphere should that conversation take place. So we place those ads across the web,
Okay.
and being able to actually track the click-through rates.
And this is basically the equivalent of high CPM dollar advertising, except you're basing it on conversion measurability?
Yes.
Okay. Jim, have you done one of those campaigns with one of your clients?
Yeah, I think the one comment I make is what I used to call the hot fudge rule. I'm a lot less interested in the tonnage than I am in the hot fudge. Not vanilla, but do something that somebody talks about, and then count on Malcolm Gladwell tipping points to spread it around. Too much of the creative is just bland, and it doesn't. It's to your point about the logos and stuff. But, I mean, I think of the commercial I was most annoyed by at the Super Bowl was the one with Ed McMahon, Cash for Gold. Horrible, right? Interactions online after that up 700%. Quote, down 30. I'm sorry, I mean, they got a lot of buzz online. I'm sure maybe 10 or 50% was negative, but they got a lot of hits. So do something that people will talk about, whatever it is, and worry more about that than the tonnage. And then know that from the metrics and go measure it with the online metrics being at least the equal part of your mix to your list.
So that's interesting. How many people saw that, the McMahon ad? Wasn't that the worst piece of crap I ever saw?
Horrible.
But you're saying that had a huge impact on conversion.
Yeah.
Okay, so I call this.
Dave, how many times are you pissed off that you got an ad that makes no sense whatsoever?
No.
It happens all the time.
Totally get that. Yeah. Well, I mean, and this for me, this is like the eBay effect. Was when I worked at eBay, particularly before we got bought by eBay, we used to think, God, that's the most god-awful screen ever. But actually, in a lot of cases, ugly performs better than pretty, and sometimes there's different levels of trust that you build with not quite perfect copy.
Dave, the one that, from my own experience, that I mentioned too, is Mazda Zoom Zoom, which has been running now for over a decade in 159 countries. It's running boom boom in Germany. But it also gets one of the highest annoyance scores with Millward Brown that you can find. It is a very annoying thing. People will say Zoom Zoom, but it works.